Hello, my name is Tony Fiducia,
And I am Zachary Nichols.
and we are the... God, it's so
What
bad.
are we?
I was going to say, we are the co-op critics. No,
We are the co-op critics!
we review it so you don't have to.
Oh god. No, we're the co-op critics. We review games together. What game are we reviewing today, Tony?
Today we're reviewing not that game. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero.
Today we're reviewing Simpsons Hit and Run. It's over there.
Is it really?
It actually is.
Oh, that's cool. We are reviewing Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
Metal Gear Solid 5. Wait, a Hideo Kojima game.
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid 5. Ground Zeroes. Tactical stealth espionage.
Action.
Japan does not know how to name games. Can we talk about that? No.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
this is the game that we're reviewing.
Go ahead and call the chopper. Keep it up.
Yes.
And
okay.
can we quickly mention people's initial comments about the game?
This is a demo.
In my recollection, demos often only last like 30 minutes. But it's definitely not a demo. It's a prologue.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a prologue for the next big main installment of the series, which is supposed to be coming out.
Like forever from now. I loved this game. I feel like sometimes I overpraise a game, but I do know that this game was definitely my favorite last year that I played. When I bought it, I ended up playing the game for 40 hours. And I mean, that to me is like the biggest testament of how much I love this game.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, you can play this game for 40 hours. Like, this is not a short game,
No.
but you're not supposed to play it once. If you only played it one time, it's like Star Fox 64.
Basically. the same
Yeah.
thing.
Do a barrel roll.
It's not meant for you to play it one time and be like, well, that was it. You're supposed to play it 1,000 times and figure out all the ways to do it.
Yeah.
How did you like the game, Tony?
Well, Zach, I liked it a lot. I thought it was very. I played it, beat the first mission, which is like the main thing. It includes like the opening credits.
Which
and
does
into
take
it.
an hour.
I got to credits in an hour. What is this? Some sort of short game.
Can we? It's
Every like maybe week or so, and I'm just bored and I want something to play to fill like an hour gap.
but quality game.
Yeah, you mentioned Skyrim.
Yeah.
And Skyrim's a good game. Don't get me wrong, but it's not super in depth or dynamic.
Unlike Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. Like here's an example. Like Skyrim, you'll go to like the first cave, whatever. You'll get your bow and arrow. You'll shoot a guy. The person will fall down dead. The person next to them will stand up and go, it's just a win.
Are you just making fun of Skyrim now?
No, I'm yeah.
But back to Metal Gear Solid.
Back to this game we're not reviewing.
Skyrim sucks. We're huge suckers for these games, though. I will say that we're probably slightly biased because we played like all the games. Okay, here's the biggest difference between this game and all the other Metal Gear Solid games. This is not like a story-in-your-face game, which is very odd for a Metal Gear Solid game, which were full of like crazy long cinematics, and they explain everything in a huge amount of detail in front of you.
Nanomachine, nanomachines, nanomachine,
Nanomachine.
nanomachine, nanomachine.
Or through a long amount of dialogue. It had its moments in like the cinematics. It did them, and then it was done. Everything else, it just kind of left up to you to figure it out. Which I have to say, I think is an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
The presentation blew me away personally. I was like,
Oh yeah.
because like,
This is a Hideo Kojima thing.
mhm.
He always pays attention. This is the prettiest game I think I've ever played.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I don't know. Something about... He really went to town with trying to make sure the lighting was as real as realistic as it possibly
Yes.
is. Which it's weird. It has all sorts of things. Crazy reflections, crazy things happen all over the place.
Mhm.
It's worth playing the game just for that. I usually boot it up and just watch the cinematic in the morning sometimes.
Mhm.
That's it. I don't even play it. I'm like, wow, the game looks great.
Yeah, like the rain, like has like reflections on it. It goes down your character's
He
model.
intentionally made the story mission full of rain.
Considering his style is
He
very
pays
stylistic.
attention,
it's-
though. That's what makes him good. Is that he looks at. He doesn't just do things. You know, like a Call of Duty game does that. They like try to do like, you know, generally what works, but no one has like a level of detail or attention to what's going on. In this game, which is so amazing about Hideo Kojima, is that he pays attention. He's like, how do I make the rain look correct? How do I make it when you move the camera, the rain moves correctly? And like he looks at all these things. And it's not just that, it's like when you open up the menus, it's the little, you know, the little like gadget thing that he pulls out at the beginning of the game. Like it's that thing and you can see it behind his hand, you can see his hand holding it. The camera zooms into it every time you press pause in like 1 second. It's crazy how many things he thinks about when he's making these games. And all those things serve to make you really feel like you're actually playing the game, like you're actually in it. They're like, alright, so all this is happening, but you gotta save a dude. Simple. None of that, hey Snake, you gotta, this bipedal walking tank, you gotta go take care of that first.
It's called a gecko for some reason.
It's being taken over by a terrorist named Liquid Snake. He's Liquid Snake, he's your brother made from a guy named Solid, it's
Nanomachines!
Nanomachine.
Nanomachines, a nanomachine.
No, none of that. They really distilled this game to its basic elements, especially in terms of like the story and how it's presented.
Here's a character, they are human, they're in a bad situation, fix that.
10 days ago, we got reports that Paz was still alive.
She survived.
She was rescued by a Belizean fisherman who found her drifting in the Caribbean.
So what's the plan? Silence her before we're compromised?
No, I've got something else in mind.
How did you like the game?
The game?
The bits where you hold
Actually-
your shoulder and actually do this.
They were just... I felt like it was sort of like a natural progression from Metal Gear Solid 2,
Yeah.
where it like, okay, Metal Gear Solid 1, it's like an old style, like, it's basically like the NES games, just 3D with some added stuff.
And it sucks less.
Metal Gear Solid 2, same game basically, but instead of like a top-down camera, being able to shoot people in the leg, that it started looking.
So it sucks less.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the It's very dynamic. Guards react realistically to some degree. Sometimes they'll just not even... But a lot of times they're very, like, they'll search things, they'll behave realistically where they'll shoot your last known at your last known position in a normal sort of way, considering, which is amazing considering all the different options and places and situations you can get into.
And number of soldiers
Yeah.
inside the game that it's keeping track of.
Yeah.
There's always a certain number, which blows my mind. I don't know how they do that.
And I just love like how it's continuing from the Metal Gear Solid traditions of being able to take out people or multiple ways. You can shoot them with a gun. You also give them a trank gun. You can use CQC and like give them a chokehold, knock them out, slit their throat with transformation, have them call their buddies.
Did you ever slit anybody's throat?
Huh?
Did you ever slit anybody's throat?
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I mean, sometimes people are coming in.
No, there's no reason to do that.
What are you talking about?
You just did that? There's
Well-
literally no reason.
No, I mean, like, if
Tony just killed somebody. Like,
He
just,
did it like 3 times today.
what? There's literally no reason to do it.
Yes, there is. Okay, so people coming at you, they have guns. They're like, they're behind your crate, and you're like, oh shit, I'm grabbing this guy. I can't just like go with him and let him kill me, and taking him out is too fucking long.
Oh, there it is. You did it because you couldn't.
I had to
wait
save
for-
my life.
Because you just thought it was okay just to kill a dude because you couldn't wait for 2 seconds and then run away.
2 seconds and then I'm dead because yeah, guns. Men with
Maybe you
guns.
should just get caught less. I liked the game a lot, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
please continue.
I don't know. You know, I'm trying to think of what about it made it better than the old games, but I do know that it never feels like it's forcing you to do one thing one way. It never feels like it's made to be a certain way. One of my favorite parts is the controls. They've boiled them down a lot. They used to have like, the way it works is you press X to crouch, and then if you press X while moving, you would roll. Now that's really not very useful because it's annoying and loud, but now they boiled it down to A, if you hold it, he will crouch immediately, no matter what you're doing. If you're walking, he will crouch immediately. If you're standing still, he'll crouch immediately. Like, and you can go between like crouching and running really fast. Like, they don't limit you, because why? Why would you do that? They don't limit you, and they decided to get rid of the whole rolling thing and throw in the X button being the dive into something button, which is super helpful. Because sometimes dudes will just turn around, and the game tells you, gives you plenty of warning, and you can just tap X and be like, oh no! I wish I could demonstrate, but I'm all mic'd up and, yeah.
Yeah, but like what even purpose of rolling even
It never had a
solve?
part. No one ever rolled in the game unless they were trying to crouch and they accidentally pressed X
Yes, but
while
like,
moving.
The whole diving thing makes a whole lot more sense.
It's perfect. The best part too is like if you dive and don't touch the controller, then he will just dive and stop.
Yeah.
And if you dive and keep holding it, he will dive and then continue running.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense. It's not weird.
They just decided to build one big map with enough variety in it that you can just choose a different starting point, and the different missions can just revolve around that, and it saves up a huge amount of time.
It actually took me 2 missions to realize it was the same map.
And what's cool is like, you know, the main mission, you're at nighttime and it's raining, and so all of your decisions while you're playing the game, like which direction to go, should I try to prone, should I try to hop in a truck and go like that or whatever. All of those decisions are based around the fact that it's nighttime, it's raining, and you're gonna have this starting position. You're trying to go to point B, which is somewhere else. Well, the second mission, or the side ops in the game, takes place bright daylight. You're not trying to save anyone. You're trying to kill people.
Yeah.
And
Which, by the way, you don't have to kill them, and I figured out that I saved their lives and Tony killed them.
yeah, of course.
Mission complete. Boss, that was superb. No one but you could have pulled that off. We searched the 2 targets you recovered. One of them had a glass eye, the other a prosthetic index finger.
Because of where you are, if where you go is in open territory, which normally would be fine because it's nighttime, but since it's daytime, everything
Everyone can
changes.
see you.
Yeah.
The children.
And like when it's raining, they can be like 10 feet away from you and they still may not see you. But in the daylight, they can be 30 feet away and they can see you on the ground.
Yeah.
They're like, what is that?
And
Is that a giant rat? What do they think you are before they realize that you're a
it's just
person?
a moving blob.
Oh, it's just, yeah, it's a dog. It's a dog. I shot a dog earlier.
It plays completely different from the main story, and like it feels like an entirely different game.
They show you how to rescue prisoners, which is actually something you can do in every single mission to get more points. Which, by the way, I love getting a good ranking in this game. I've gotten an S rank on, I think, everything, which is awesome. But, yeah, I'm awesome. But, like, every single mission is so different, and I love it. The assassination mission is totally different, because now it's like you're tracking these 2 dudes. Who
You don't even know where they are.
Yeah, you don't know who they are. Like, you know what they look like, and you have to find them amongst everybody. And then the third one, you're having to go to specific locations to blow up certain objects.
That you don't necessarily know where they are.
Like, everyone complains about the length and all that, but like, every mission is different. And to do them correctly, you have to play them. You can play them many times. And I like that they're set up with the enemies in different places and they know different things and there's different weapons in different places. It's a fun game to replay.
Yeah, like the different missions, they have like different like phases that you may or may not go into. Like there's one mission where you're sneaking throughout it, then suddenly you have to run for your life because the whole thing's getting bombed.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus, what the fuck do I do?
And that mission's awesome because that's when they give you like the C4 and the rocket launcher, and they're like, it's up to you if you just want to blow them up one at a time or you want to like. My favorite move is to plant a bomb at each one, like sneak through the whole place in the broad daylight. It's a bomb underneath it's like turrets or some nonsense. You plant a bunch of bombs there, and then at the very end, you're just like you got 4 bombs scattered throughout the base, and you're like, boop.
You don't have to play it that way either. You
Yeah, no, you could just run up and just punch the guy that's in front of the thing and then blow it up with your grenade launcher, but that's not... That's what you would do, because you got a bloodlust.
Fuck it. Boom, boom. Because I would go to a tower where I could easily see all four of them, and it was just like, well, Jesus, here, just pull this motherfucker out. And then I just run to the thing, and I was fine. I feel like one of the big reasons people like have a problem with length in games is because they played games when they were kids and they had forever to play it, and so they play games for like 12 hours straight.
Yeah, that's the thing about this game, is that that's what I think I loved about it so much, is that it's the only game I played in a long time where I was like, this was legitimately fun for most of the game. I've spent $15 on games and only played it for 2, but I still had a good time. Papo and Yo, check out that game. Pretty clean.
Yeah, okay, so there's one female character in this game. There's no like female soldiers or anything like that. The female character is tortured, disemboweled, has a bomb in her stomach, applied to be somewhere, you know, you can get where
It's in her vag!
Yeah.
Can I do an impression of her dialogue?
Go for it.
Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in pain the entire game.
Yes. You put her on the ground many times, step on her sometimes by accident.
Yeah.
If you, most likely she'll get shot the first time you try it. But Hideo's got a really bad habit of making these characters, female characters. Only one of the games had a female character that I really, really liked.
The boss.
Yeah. I like the boss. The boss is awesome. Well, every other character just doesn't have a lot of depth to them. And like Meryl, oh, she's the rookie. That's another thing too. Meryl was the only girl in that game. Why?
Who took off their pants?
Meryl.
She was changing uniforms, so it makes sense. But
Actually,
still.
it is an Easter egg. Let's be fair.
Oh, it is?
But the camera's like stuck to her butt for a scene.
Well, to be honest, it's stuck to Snake's butt in every other scene.
Well.
I like some alone time now and then.
Oh yeah, did you get the secret missions? Missions?
I mean the deja vu.
Yeah, all the fun stuff.
I got them. I never actually played them just yet.
They're great. To pick them out. No, do you recommend this game? Do you think people should buy it?
Depends on what you're looking for in games or what kind of things you're interested in. So if you think
lame, that could be the answer for every question ever.
You're looking to watch a girl get disemboweled on camera.
Don't watch this because you're sicko
What?
and you should stop watching things.
You just got rid of our entire guys who like watching girls get disemboweled audience.
That's a good thing.
Alright. What's up with you and your stupid willy-nilly going back and forth whether or not I should buy the game? You should just buy the game. Personally, this is like, unless you like have a hatred against stealth games, which some people have, I think you should buy the game.
Yeah. It's a good game.
It's amazing. No, it's an amazing game.
Yeah. If you're just buying games to pass the time,
Going around whether or not you buy the game. Sitting here praising the game all day, and then you're like, I don't know.
well, I'm saying some people have different preferences. Like good games and bad games. Anyways,
Was that me?
yeah, this is you. My name's Sonny Fiducian. I'm signing off. How about you, Zach?
I did die. I really hope it got the last 2
Just go ahead.
seconds of me.
Just go ahead and do it for the white shot.
My name's Tony Fiducia, and I'm signing off.
And let's go watch Inside Out.
Let's do it. Okay, all right.
Cardful.
Get me unmiked. What?
Cardful.
Gosh dang it.
Yeah, the next time.
This is all.
I need to